to welcome you to today's ceremony for Electrician's Mate First Class, Jeffrey Matthews, as he retires from the United States Navy following 20 years of dedicated and faithful naval service. Will the guests please rise for the rite of the official party and remain standing for the national anthem and invocation. Military guests, remain covered throughout the invocation. Commander, United States Navy, arriving. Paymaster, First Class, United States Navy, arriving. Color guard, parade the colors.
Shoulder, arm. Over, mark. Turn. And home. Then arms. Present color.
Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Color guard, retire the colors.
Shoulder, arms. Right face. Forward, arm.
Chaplain Coates will now deliver the invocation.
I invite you to join me in prayer. God of wonders, among them the great plains of Nebraska, with sunny skies and gentle southerly breezes. Among your wonders, the power of nuclear propulsion in the imponderable expanse of the Pacific. And among your wonders, the value of a single life, a single man, joined with the most proud and effective naval force for good in the world. A single life, yes, but one that cannot now be understood apart from Andrea and the wonder of precious sons. God of wonders, you have set us the perfect example that we ought not devote ourselves to our own interests, but also to the common good, with grateful hearts, we gather in this sanctuary in the Commonwealth to remember and celebrate that common good as attended by your servant of our country these 2 decades. From the steel-toed boots first donned in Great Lakes, electricians made nuclear first class Jeffrey Matthews could hardly have imagined all the steps, ladders, and non-skid you had in store for him. Through years when the path to the common good passed over ocean trenches to combat uncommon evil, he has labored well and ventured far for the liberties we enjoy. We humbly ask that all the words, all the actions, and even all the attitudes of this place and this hour be fitting to your wonders and to the life, career, cause, and sacrifice here acknowledged. This I pray with thankful confidence in the power and unending love of the one whose very name is salvation, Jesus our Lord. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain Coates. Will the guests please be seated? Service members will cover. Sidewalks, please. Those of you guys to sit down. Good morning, A-Road, Chaplain, distinguished guests, family, friends, electricians, made first class, Jeffrey Matthews. I am Chief Ben Abrams. I'll be your master of ceremonies for today's proceedings. I'd like to welcome all of you to this special occasion marking the retirement of Pastor Matthews. Today we bid farewell and retire a shipmate with 20 years of distinguished service to his country. I want to extend an especially warm welcome to Pastor Matthews' family, his wife Andrea, and his sons Devin and Dylan, his father Jerry, and mother Carol. I know that you, more than anyone, are vividly aware of the sacrifices that Jeff has made in the service to our country, and I speak for the entire command when I say how pleased we are to have you here today. Our presiding officer, Commander Neal, the Assistant Reactor Officer on board USS Abraham Lincoln, will now speak.
Thanks, Chief. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
It's an honor and a privilege to be here this morning. I appreciate the opportunity. Military retirement ceremonies are a time-honored tradition, and it's our opportunity to pay tribute to a shipmate and recognize 20 years of dedicated service to our nation, protecting the freedoms that we all enjoy on a daily basis. This is a proud and tremendous milestone for Petty Officer Matthews at the end of a distinguished career, and we all know will be just the launching point for a successful and prosperous future. At this time, this is probably new for me, but kind of neat as well. I've never had in a retirement ceremony, the guest speaker be the actual service member's father, which I think is pretty cool. So no one came to hear me talk, so I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Jerry Matthews, our guest speaker.
All my notes, except my outline, which is on my iPad. As many of you know, I lawyered for many years, and so talking comes pretty naturally to me. And so I didn't spend a lot of time preparing anything except for some information from my wife. And now I do photography, and one of the senior classes had as their motto, "The past is our heritage, the present is my responsibility, the future is our opportunity." So I wanted to go over a little bit the family heritage that Jeff Matthews has, which he may not even be aware of, because when I read over these notes from my wife, I wasn't aware of all of them. Alexander Ewing was born in 1752 in Cecil County, Maryland. His father was born in Ulster, Ireland, and died in Montgomery County, Virginia. He lived in Virginia during the American Revolutionary War. He was commissioned September 3rd, 1777, and served until January 1st, 1782. He rose to the rank of captain in 1781 and was an aide-de-camp to General Greene. During the Civil War, great-great-great-grandfather Caleb Campbell served in the Army of the Union on 2 occasions. He enlisted in 1861 for 3 years in the Company G of the 3rd Missouri Cavalry. He got drafted later and served until June 1865, and his brother served in Nashville, Tennessee, and filed for a pension. During World War I, great uncle on his mother's side, Wesley Damerel, served in the Army. His grandfather, William McMichael, my wife's father, served in World War II as a pharmacist mate, having graduated from the University of California, Berkeley with a bachelor's degree and worked as a pharmacist for many years. His grandmother, Carol's mother, did not serve in the military, but her sister and brother-in-law did, and another sister did. My father, Leroy Matthews, served in the Army in World War II, and my mother worked in aircraft plants, building aircrafts to use in the war. In the Vietnam War, his cousin Terry Hutchinson was stationed at Vietnam. 2 recent cousins of his retired from the service. Joseph Hutchinson retired as a commander and served as a helicopter pilot, and another cousin, Daniel McMichael, served as a Hercules C-130 pilot and retired as a lieutenant colonel. That is part of his family heritage. His current family, we're very proud of. Jennifer Matthews, his older sister, ran a business, successful flower shop business in a small town. She also worked in a bank, balancing the general ledger for the banking system consisting of about 10 banks. Every day she had to balance the general ledger. Jeff will be starting back to school when he finishes this, and we'll get to that in a little bit when we talk about his future opportunities. Tessa graduated from the University of Nebraska-Lincoln with a math major. Don't know where she got that, it wasn't from me. And his younger sister, Elizabeth, graduated from Shadrach State with an accounting degree. I think she gets that from my brother, who was a lawyer, a CPA, and now is a minister. So our family is full of people who have become educated, worked hard. My mother went back to school when she was in her 40s and became an RN and worked in that field for 20 years. Now Jeff's future, which is the third arm of this speech, is the time for opportunity. And he's taking these opportunities and his responsibilities to the next level by moving to Holdridge, Nebraska, and he will be attending college online, working toward his bachelor's degree. So as soon as we get Jennifer back in school with 1 year to go to finish her bachelor's degree, all 4 of the kids will have at least a bachelor's degree. And Carol, his mother, went back to school. I'm not going to say how old she was, but it was recently, and finished up with her master's degree in information technology. They're not librarians anymore, they're information technology experts. And my bachelor's degree was in 1967. No, later than that, 71. 72, 73?
Somewhere around there.
Somewhere in there, and then I went to law school and graduated from there in 73. 76. 76, because Jen was born, she was born a week before I graduated law school, and then got licensed in South Dakota and Nebraska. So I practiced law for 40 years now, and just recently became a photographer. Jeff plans on taking his opportunities that the military has provided, and he will be going back to school working towards a bachelor's degree so that he can move up in the manufacturing company that he'll be working for and become an administrator and a boss, not just a worker bee. So he'll be attending college on his days off from work. Devin is looking forward to playing soccer.
Oh, that's Dylan.
Dylan at a big school. I must have hit a head or two with my head. And Holdridge is a good school. It's a good-sized school. It's a B school in Nebraska, which is a good-sized school. And Dylan will have a chance.
Devin.
I'll get them straight. I'm not, see, when you move back, I'll be around them more and I won't get them mixed up.
I get them mixed up. I live with them every day.
My mother will call, when she was alive, she would frequently call me Jim, and when Jim was there, Jerry. So it runs in the family, I think. Part of the family heritage is to mix up the names. So we're looking forward to having Jeff, got that one right,
Yep.
back home in the area, and it's kind of nice because the house they've got's big, and it's kind of central because Tessa's in Kansas, Beth is in Sydney, Jen and us, we're in Hay Springs. He's kind of in the middle. So we can converge for Thanksgiving, Christmas, all the places where people like to get together as family. Rather than driving from Nebraska, because Carol and I drove for 3 days and look forward to driving 3 days back, to come to this, which we would not miss. None of his family miss. And so we look forward to being able to get together at good occasions like this over the next few years, because we have a high school graduation of Kobe, I got that one right, next year, and then Dylan will be right after that, and so we'll be able to get together for good occasions, not just for funerals like is so common for many families. So I want to thank everybody for coming today. We enjoyed the trip out. We'll enjoy the trip back. Hannah's going to ride with us, one of the grandkids. And so we're going to go back, stop at Tessa's on the way back because she doesn't charge as much as a motel. And she can take us to a good barbecue restaurant, and then we can go to Holdridge, Nebraska on the way back to Hay Springs. So once again, I want to thank everybody for coming, and we have enjoyed this ceremony immensely. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Matthews. It's a time-honored tradition that the family of a Navy member be honored, and the support of the family is the foundation for the service member's success. In keeping with this tradition, ushers, please escort Pastor Matthews' family to the front stage.
No, you don't have to talk.
Do you want to talk?
No, he doesn't want. No, I'm not allowed to apparently.